Starting a business from home? Here is to properly do it. Starting a business from your own basement or living room may require little to no overhead cost, helping you save on rent and other expenses as you mull over your commercial moves. Still, for all the benefits of a home-based entrepreneurial venture can generate, it's easier said than done. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you here today, and I'm doing fantastic. If you are doing as marvelous as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or Let's go. The first thing you want to do when it comes to starting a business from home is to invest in your office space, right? Now, the thing here is that you can work. One of the perks of working from home is working in your pajamas, right? But a lot of home-based business owners suggest some formality in the home. You want to create a formal space where you are able to work. You want a space that triggers productivity in you, right? Don't work from the couch. That's the last thing you want to do. Don't work from the couch with your laptop in your lap. No, you want to dedicate a portion of the house. You want to transform that into an office. It could be in the basement. It can be in an adjacent section to the home. The idea here is to recreate a work environment, a workplace environment at home. You want to be able to have, if you have children, you want to be able to be as far as possible from you want them to be in a room that is as far as possible from the office, so that you're not distracted when you have to pick up important phone calls, or if you have a pet. So any distraction that will reduce your productivity, you want to reduce that, right? It's very important. You also want to create a schedule and stick to it. It's very important. If you're working from 8 to 5 or 9 to 10, or 9 to 4, try to have that and stick to it. It's very important. Don't try to multitask or mix duties, right? Don't mix home duties with work functions. Those are not, never mix business with pleasure or private life. All right. When it comes to your office space, try to be creative. Try to infuse as much of your personality into that space, right? If you have to renovate an entire room, do it. If you have to use whatever supplies you currently have to transform the space, do it. Do you need to you don't have to run, you don't have to spend a lot of money on supplies or go to big chain office stores. No, you can have cheaper options. I'm talking the dollar store, right? Walmart. Those are very beneficial for basic items such as bulletin boards, filing cabinets, papers, pens, right? In terms of your computer equipment, try to look for Go Green, right? Things that could save you money, right? Use phone chargers to save energy. Use electrical outlets, smaller computers, right? Another thing you want to do here is that don't forget to turn off the lights and unplug chargers when you're not using them, and recycle paper. All right, use what you currently have, what you already have. The idea here is that because you're starting a business from home, it doesn't mean the extra cash that you are saving on rent, you're going to use that extra cash on unnecessary stuff, right? Look around your house and look for much needed office items. Things like lamps, desk. If you have stuff in the attics or spare rooms, you can use those. The staplers, the notebooks, right? So you want to use those things. If you have children, you can actually recycle some of the things they haven't used in years past, right? Hit the thrift stores and flea markets, right? Again, when it comes to furniture, you don't have to break the bank. You can go to flea markets and thrift shops to purchase items, right? Generally, a lot of antique pieces are affordable, and they can actually just make your office look even unique, right? One thing you want to do is when it comes to decorating your house, for instance, see if you can do things yourself, DIY, right? Instead of hiring electricians, plumbers, furniture assemblers, do everything yourself. Hire painters. You don't have to. You can save money on that. It's a great way to learn new skills. It will help you save a lot of money. It's very important. Now, another thing that's very important, if you're going to work from home, depending upon the kind of business you want to run, you might want to let the neighbors know, right? if it's a business that will be a little noisy or will create some kind of change to the neighborhood, make sure that you tell your immediate neighbors, right? If you are in an apartment building, tell your neighbors in the bottom or the top. If you live in a single family home, talk to your neighbors to your left and right. So you want your neighbors to know that you will be running, some kind of business here. So if they start seeing people coming over, or if they start seeing suppliers or customers, they won't question the origin of this movement. All right. The second thing you want to do is you want to choose a captivating small business idea. Right. I'm not telling you to have a crazy business idea, but it has to be unique and compelling. Right. You want to solve a problem. You want to provide a solution, right? It's not about providing a service or providing a product. It's about providing a solution. And you have to do it in a very captivating way. It has to be compelling. It has to be new. Remember, any business you're entering either is already saturated or has the potential to be saturated, right? What I'm trying to say here is that if there is no rival that don't assume there's no rival. There are always rivals in all businesses. You're not the first one to think about this particular idea you're about to start. You might be thinking that you're the first one, but you're not. So you need to be very careful and very strategic as to how you put yourself and your company forward, right? So you want to craft a business plan, right? So you want to think about the product or service, what kind of problems, what kind of pain point does it solve in the market? You want to think about marketing, think about, your financial projections, everything from your balance sheet all the way to your statement of income and loss for the first 3 months or 3 years. So those are called projected financial statements. You want to think about marketing, right? How are you going to find your customers? How are you going to ensure a smooth value chain, supply chain, logistics? Right now, the thing here is if you have, you want to evaluate your skills to make sure that the skills you have are fine. If you don't have them, you have to think about outsourcing or bringing on board a co-partner or a co-founder, a business partner, a co-founder, right? So this is very important. The bottom line here is you can even enroll in a community college, evening classes to take the kind of classes, the kind of skills you don't currently possess, right? Let's say you're not very good at marketing or digital marketing. Look around in the community. If there's a community college that offers those classes, adult classes on the evening, so you can just go and brush up on your skills there. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation here about how to start a business from home and how you can properly do it. Number 3, the third thing you need to do is to hire professionals. Now, some professionals are very essential to your business. I mean, accountant, you need an accountant, a lawyer, a tax expert, a business developer / salesperson. Unless you have expertise yourself in finance, it's always important to hire someone. Now, if you create a business, you have to fill out plenty of paperwork to ensure that you don't run afoul of any tax laws. Not just tax laws, by the way, but tax laws are very important. You also want to think about, state authorities when it comes to licenses, when it comes to certificates. For instance, if you work in the healthcare industry, there is an area of certificates and licenses you need to possess to be able to run your business, in a regulatory way, in a regulatorily compliant way, right? When it comes to taxes, things are even more important, right? Because you don't want to run afoul of the IRS, right? So you want to register, and this is where the lawyer will step in, helping you register your company in the appropriate category, whether it is a C corporation, an S corporation, an LLC, LP, LP, sole proprietorship, whatever it is, you want to have the right person. So if you cannot afford professional help, you can even reach out to those nonprofit business mentoring group in the neighborhoods. All right. You can also reach out to the Small Business Administration. Their website is www.sba.gov S as in Sam, B as in business, A as in apple.gov. They provide free resources for small business owners, who want to get started. So you need an accountant. An accountant will help you keep the books. You need a lawyer to help you get the certificates and the licenses. A business developer and salesperson will help you get your first customers and get the business going. Right? This is very important. You want to get the business going while you're still trying to launch your business, in earnest. Right? So you want to get the first orders coming in. You want to have those early adopters, ordering from you. Number 4, establish a budget. It's very important. To properly launch your business from home, you got to have a budget. Now, I'm talking about a budget for the business. Remember, you are running the business from the house, but you got to set a budget that is different, that is separate from your house budget, your household budget, right? When it comes to budgeting, you have three main things, or 4 things, if you will, but I think three main things. On the expense side, you have 2 categories. You have fixed expenses and you have variable expenses. And on the revenue side, you just have revenue. All right. Now, what are fixed expenses? I'm talking mortgage, rent, utilities, right? And on the variable side, you have groceries, gas, office supplies, that kind of stuff. Now, this is something very important. On the expense side, you have to factor into your budget the cost that is associated with the portion of the house where you run your business. And it's very important to be careful about keeping receipts and be able to back it up, because if you ever deduct home office expenses on your tax return and you get audited, the IRS is very strict when it comes to the use of home space for business purposes. So you have to keep some good paperwork and be able to back things up. Now, the thing here is that another thing when it comes to budgeting is you have to look at the seasonality of your revenue, right? Because things like mortgage or rent or phone bill and groceries and gas, those might be monthly, right? So you basically having a check, you have to cut a check every month, but your revenue might be seasonal. For starters, customers might want to get, payment terms that range from 45 days to 60 days to 90 days. So you have to be able to adjust that between the seasonality of your what people call the revenue cycle, your revenue cycle, and the procurement cycle, right? So you have to pay your vendors. Some vendors might not be okay with giving you money. I mean, basically shipping supplies to you and waiting for 40 days or 45 days to get paid. Because remember, you are new. Because you're a new business, a lot of people look at you as risky, look at your business as risky. So you got to find the right balance between the payments, between the payment cycle and the revenue cycle. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm still having a conversation here about how to properly start a business from home. If you like the clarity and the content, the clarity and the quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can be informed whenever we drop a new show. We do this every single day, rain or shine. Really appreciate it. Comment below, share, and like this content. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to preserve your primary source of income. In other words, don't quit your day job yet. You want to stick to your job if you're doing it right. If you start from home, unless you're doing it full time, it's fine. If not, try to keep your primary source of income. All right. So you want to be as productive as you can with your day job. You want to be as productive with, you want to be as nice and professional to your colleagues, to your boss. Again, this is if you are running the business from home on a part-time basis or as a side gig. All right. So having a day job is important because it is a blessing. It is not something that holds you back. It is something solid. It is something concrete. It gives money. It puts food on the table for you and your family. Right. So don't consider it a curse. That's what's keeping you afloat. That's where the money is going to come from to finance the business you are about to start. So do it, be in it as much as possible. You want to plan your days, right? Be comfortable, work hard, you can spend time, spend time on your day job and plan your days and make sure that everything is fine, that you're giving your current job the maximum you can, right? Maximize your time. What I'm trying to say here is that if you know that you usually do a job in 8 hours, try to do it in 6 hours or 7 hours. So you have one extra hour every single day to dedicate to your other business, to your nascent business, right? And if you can outsource. While you're still working at the company, while you're still working at your current day job, try to outsource, right? Because you know what your time is worth, right? So try to hire, if you can hire someone to do it better, faster, and ultimately break even or make more money during that time, that's even better, right? Let's say, for instance, that your time, you're worth, maybe $80 an hour. And there are certain jobs that you're not good at or you don't like to do, or they're not just a good use of your time, because you can hire someone and pay the person $15 an hour. That person will get it done while you are out there making more money. It just makes sense. All right. So preserve your primary income, your primary source of income, and be productive while setting up your home business. And the last thing you want to do when it comes to starting a business from home is to comply with regulators and protect yourself and your company. This is very important. You have to comply with regulations. Now, I already spoke about the taxes. It's very important. You want to make sure that money is going to, taxes are paid to the IRS every quarter. If you are on a self-filing schedule, you want to make sure that you also send money to the state tax authorities when it comes to sales taxes, because those are not yours. You're collecting them on behalf of the states, right? You want, and the rule of thumb is very simple. Try to save away. If the business starts generating cash and you're making money, try to save 30%, one third of your revenue. Just put it in a separate account. Just forget about it, and every quarter just send it to the IRS and also to your state tax authorities, right? So that allows you to avoid all the hefty tax bills that people who don't plan ahead usually have, and you'll be in good terms with the IRS and the state tax authorities, and that's what you want, really. You also want to comply with regulations in terms of licenses. I already mentioned that. Certificates, right? If there are other things, it's up to you to either work through your lawyer or to ask to call the local chamber of commerce or the government agency responsible for your particular occupation or your niche and ask questions. All right, you can go on their websites. And every state has different regulations, so this is why we're not really giving this more. This is more of a general kind of info, but it's up to you to, find bespoke info that relates to your particular niche. Another thing that's very, very important when it comes to protecting yourself and your company is insurance. Insurance is key, especially when you start a business. And there are certain kinds of insurance that are critical. For instance, general liability insurance, right? This help pays for a lawsuit that claim your business caused bodily injury or property damage. You might also want to think about getting professional liability insurance to help cover lawsuits that claim you made errors or omissions in the services your business provides. Another topic you might want to think about is commercial auto insurance to help cover you or your employees if you are in an accident while driving your own car for work. You might also want to think about something called commercial umbrella insurance. This kind of coverage extends the limit of your liability insurance policies if a claim is made against your business and that exceeds your liability coverage. Depending on where you live, if you live in certain parts of the country that are subject to the weather vicissitudes, if you will, you might want to get commercial flood insurance, and this will help you cover the cost of damages to your business property from flood water. If you have employees, you want to think about getting workers' compensation insurance. So the best idea to go about this is to ask a broker, to contact a broker and provide info about your business to the broker and ask them what kind of insurance you need. Now, insurance, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of new entrepreneurs, rookie entrepreneurs, consider it unnecessary expense. But believe me, folks, this is very important. This is more than necessary, because you only need to have one event, one adverse event for your whole company to go down if you don't have the proper risk management approach. And insurance is a cornerstone of a risk management approach. All right. So this is it, folks. Just want to quickly recap today's conversation. If you want to start a new business from home, here's how to properly do it. Invest in your office space. Choose a captivating small business idea. Hire professionals. Establish a budget. Preserve your primary source of income, and comply with regulations and protect yourself and your company. I'll see you next time. And until then, stay marvelous.